Welcome to the Court of Bookish Queens, podcast where mother, daughter, and intruder dive headfirst into the world of romantasy, sharing our unfiltered thoughts, bold opinions, and theories so wild they might need legal representation.
I'm Juliet. I'm the daughter, romantasy addict, and CEO for Falling for Fictional Men.
And I'm Melissa, the intruder, romantasy novice, but oh, do I have opinions. And Helen, our legal counsel, is not able to be here with us today, so I shall be mother. So listeners, adjust your crowns. And remember, in this court, chaos is not just welcome, it's the dress code. So with that, court is now in session. Hello, and thank you for joining us on today's episode, where we will be covering chapters 43 to 46, aka the end of the book, of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Before we dive into today's episode, please listen closely to our content warning. While we are focusing our discussion on chapters 43 to 46 in book one, there will be themes, foreshadowing, lore, and other insights from across the series. So yes, these episodes are spoiler central for the whole of the ACOTAR series. However, these deep dives do not include spoilers for the rest of Sarah J. Maas's series, except at the end of some episodes, which we will make sure to give you a big spoiler warning for. So if you haven't read the entirety of the Maasverse, you can leave this episode when we give you the spoiler warning, or you can stay tuned and listen for crossovers from Throne of Glass and Crescent City. Last thing before we jump into the ACOTAR episode, if you're loving being part of the courts, if you want more content, if you're enjoying these deep dives, then please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, or why not all of them? So with that, let's give a quick summary, shall we? We are on to trial 3, and we will be jumping straight into it. And we will also be discussing the riddle and post-trial and everything that comes with it. Basically, the end of the book. So let's get into it, shall we? Trial 3. Juliet, take it away.
So Feyre enters a room, but this time it is silent. And that is unnerving for her because every other trial she's done, there's been a lot of chatter, a lot of noise, a lot of Fae around. So that throws her off her game a little. Feyre enters this room, sees Amarantha on the dais, or whatever it's called, and Feyre sees Tamlin right next to her.
Or so she thinks.
Yeah. So Amarantha is basically like, Feyre, any last words to your beloved Tamlin? And Feyre kind of just spills her heart out, says, I love you. Tamlin gives absolutely no signal, no sign, no nothing that he cares. He doesn't even grip the handles of his throne with the way he's done in the past. So, and that actually demoralizes Feyre a little bit. It makes her 100%. Chest it's important to note that there's no sign of Rhys. 3 hooded figures appear with guards behind them, and then Amarantha explains what Feyre has to do.
And what she has to do basically damages this girl for the rest of the series. So her last trial composes of her having to kill Fae. Since she had done it before, it shouldn't have been a problem. Well, that's what Amarantha said. So Feyre, after much contemplation, they take off the first hood. I think it was a male Fae. And long story short, she kills him. Second one, take it off. It's a woman. She's praying, she's already killed one. So she's like, I have to do it. I'm just going to go for it. And then the third one, she takes off the third hood, and lo and behold, who is it but our favorite High Lord of a certain spring court, Tamlin.
When I first read that, I was like,
I know.
The book is over.
I was shooketh to my very core. Shooketh. To my very core. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, after everything, she's going to lose it all. Like, what was it all for? Well, that was the first time, right? We know what happens the second time around.
So there's this moment when the hood is taken off Tamlin, and
Mm-hmm.
Feyre, her arms slacken to the side, and she's just completely flabbergasted and just what is going on. And then she has this moment that lasts for like 2 or 3 pages where she's like, oh, like there was this other thing that Alice couldn't tell me. So she's like
Yeah.
racking her brain trying to figure out like, is it something that can help her in this? Basically, Feyre figures out that Tamlin has a heart of stone. She's not completely sure that she's remembering all of this correctly, but she has an inkling. So Feyre thinks if she stabs Tamlin, everything will be okay because it wouldn't really pierce much.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
and look, like props to her. She was on the money. It was true. He did have a heart of stone, and when she went to pierce it, it thudded and nothing happened to him. So we think story's over, trials are done. She won, but Amarantha had something else up her sleeve, right? And said, "Oh no, no, no! I never told you when I would be releasing everybody. I just said that I would, right? It was only the riddle that would release everybody instantaneously. So then she starts popping off Amy, as duh she would, because she's just been shown up by this human girl in front of all of the courts. Like, it's not just her court, it's all of the courts, right? And she's killing Feyre. She's hurting her, like she's dying.
so yeah, Amarantha is beating Feyre up. She's using lightning, she's using anything she can to get at her. And Feyre
Yeah,
is hearing during all of this as she's just breaking, someone saying, stop, stop, it's yelling Feyre's name. And then she goes,
yeah.
it wasn't someone, it was Rhys. So
Yeah.
hot.
Wait, I want to pause there because I want to say, yes, Rhys did all of that, but Tamlin was injured. He could not do any of that. Yes? Let's remember that. I don't want people to jump on here and be like,
No, that's
why didn't
true.
Tamlin do it? Yeah.
No, Tamlin was just stabbed. So
Yeah.
because his powers weren't fully restored,
Yeah. He couldn't
he his
heal quickly enough.
yeah, his healing was taking too long. So
Yeah.
Rhys steps in not only by yelling Feyre's name and yelling stop, he literally steps in and Amarantha starts beating Rhys up. And then at that point, it like switches where Feyre is now saying, please stop, like don't hurt Rhys. Which I was like, yes, let's
But
go.
come on, you would have expected Feyre to say that because it's like Lucian. She doesn't want them to hurt Lucian. She doesn't want anybody to get hurt. That's in Feyre's character. It had nothing to do with love. It's just the fact that she is that sort of girl.
No, that's totally true.
So within the court, everybody's calling foul play. People are saying let them go. Like commotion is breaking out, and Amarantha is losing her shit. So she pops off at Feyre and is saying, "Say you don't love him. Say you don't love him. Say you don't love him." And finally, our girl Feyre has an aha moment. She's like, "Love, love. That is the answer to the riddle."
But
Finally, girl.
that happens just right before something in her spine like cracks and she's done. She's out. Because
Yeah.
it literally says the bond between us went taut. I think that's
Mhm.
her bond with Rhys, right? And then we have that Freaky Friday situation where Feyre is now seeing everything from Rhys's point of view. So she's seeing her dead body on the floor. And because she answered the riddle, it's instantaneous. So in that moment, Tamlin goes at Amy.
Yeah. He goes into Amarantha. I think he pins her. I think he takes a sword and like pierces her skull or something and then rips out her throat, right? So Feyre essentially saves the day, but she's dying. People already think she's dead. And then lo and behold, the High Lord of the Autumn Court steps up and gives a kernel of his power and says for everything that she gave, right? Or was that Reese who said that?
No, well, I don't
I
know.
think it was
But
Reese.
but
I think it was Reese who said that.
the High Lord of Autumn Court is the first to do it. And then I wrote down the order because I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be important, but to me it was important because I love lists. So, okay.
Mhm.
So, Autumn Court steps up, does that. Summer follows, then High Lord of Winter follows, Dawn, Day, then Rhys, and then Tamlin is the last to do it for Spring Court, and he like touches her heart when he does it.
So sweet. And I think it was really just a recognition of this human girl who ended up saving all of the Fae. It was really, really nice. I really enjoyed it. And look, it changes everything because Feyre wakes up from her almost death as no longer a human girl, but a Fae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the first things she notices is like how weird her fingers looks. They're longer. But the first thing that she kind of says to herself is, "What have they done?" Like that can be interpreted in so many different ways. How did you interpret that? The what have they
Well,
done?
I actually, well, think about it. It's like it wasn't her choice to be turned Fae. She actually used to hate the Fae, and now she is one of them. Obviously, it's different than when her sisters became Fae because they wanted to be human and they didn't like the Fae. But Feyre learned to love the Fae. But I don't know if Feyre would have wanted to live. I think she would have. I think she would have because she went through so much and why not reap the benefits? But there is such a, I don't know if there is this word in English, but in Spanish, it's sufridora. Like she likes to suffer. She's one of those people that enjoys suffering. So because she killed these two Fae, she can't let it go. And she has taken that emotional baggage with her and keep with it for a very long time and can't enjoy being Fae.
Yeah, she keeps
So
that
she
guilt
might
for
have
a
wanted
long
to die.
time. And even when post trial 3, when Amarantha's dead, everything's like fine now, and Tamlin's healing her, she even says something about how like there's no proof now that she did any of those bad things, you know? Like on her
Yeah,
skin.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like she loves to suffer. She loves to be like, and maybe it's because she's
It's
been doing it for so long.
well, it's interesting that you say that because this leads us to a whole other conversation of, is ACOTAR, the first book, a love story, or is it really a story of freedom, suffering, and sacrifice?
Ooh, so philosophical, Juliet. Oh my gosh. Where's the PhD? You should hang.
Something to ponder.
Look, I thought it was a love story, because she did all of this for Tamlin. I think it evolves from that and becomes about growth and, suffering
Yeah.
and ultimately sacrifice.
I think the core struggle of this first book is Feyre enduring poverty, struggling with even like staying alive, with these trials, learning her capacity, building the capacity. I don't know. It's just not the love story is more of like a
Surely it's a love story. This is a love story. Like
no, it's a
it's a
story that has love
tragedy.
in
It's a
it.
tragedy. That's what it is.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. It's a tragedy like Romeo and Juliet. Like you can't call that you can't say that there wasn't love,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
was a
I think
tragedy.
the love story in this serves the plot, but it's not the plot.
Maybe I'm just shallow. I thought it was about love. Okay, so we spoke about the loophole. So when Amarantha is torturing Feyre, Rhys loses it and the facade comes off, the mask comes off, and he goes and grabs the knife that Feyre had used to stab Tamlin and
Mm-hmm.
goes for Amarantha, but Amarantha like flicks him off like a fly, right? And that's when he crashes on the marble and like splinters the marble, but he
Okay.
still gets up and tries to kill her. So it's a clear public declaration of his allegiance. Yeah, so what do you think? Do you think that was strategic or do you think it was heroic?
Why can't it be both?
I think it was both. I agree with you. I agree with you. I think it was both. Yeah. Because he
And
did something that no one else did. Tamlin was injured. That's why he didn't do it. Lucian didn't do it. None of the other High Lords did it. No one except Rhys. He was like,
well,
"This is it."
yeah, and in chapter 46, and we'll get to this part, but Rhys literally tells Feyre why he didn't want her to fight, be the only one fighting.
Yeah, but I think that was kind of an excuse. He said he wanted to be remembered,
That was
and
the first thing
he
he said. Yeah.
as a hero. Oh yeah, and then he. What else was it? Remind me.
So
Remind
yeah,
me.
so Rhys says that whenever he has offspring, like he wants to be remembered as, fighting
A hero.
against the evil. And then the second thing he says, I didn't want you to fight alone, Feyre. I didn't want you to die alone. Whichever of the two. He didn't
Which
want her
Feyre
to be alone.
recognizes. Yeah, and Feyre recognizes that in herself because she didn't want that fairy in Tamlin's court who like Tamlin brought in and died on the table. She stayed with him because she didn't want him to die alone. So we talked about if Feyre wanted to become High Fae or not, but do you think it's a blessing or a curse that Feyre is High Fae now?
I mean, is there an argument? Is there an
Yeah, I
argument
kind
for it being a curse?
of there is if you ask Elaine.
But this is about Feyre being High
Yeah, but
Fae.
like broaden it out, right? It's like the question is, do you think it's a blessing to be high fae or not? I think for Feyre, it's probably a blessing, but for others, like it's a curse, like Elaine.
I would straight up say it's a curse because I don't want to deal with immortality. Like, I don't want to live
Is that
forever.
Oh, I'm fine with immortality, especially
Ugh.
if I'm gonna be frozen in time and look the way I do. Like, don't worry, sign me up. But what I'm saying is like, I don't want to have to deal with all that baggage it comes with,
Mm.
dealing with like other curses and like wars and things. It's like, where's Elaine? Plot me in a garden. That's all I wanted. Okay, let's talk about post trial now. So we're post trial. Everyone is free. People are going up to them, thanking them. And this is the first signs to me of like unhealthy ways of coping with trauma. Because as soon as Tamlin and Feyre are alone together, none of them want to speak. They don't want to talk about anything. And I get it. In the beginning, you might need some time and space, but we know that this behavior continues,
Yeah,
right?
and Feyre even wants a distraction, and so they just start being intimate instead of talking. Like she straight up
And that
says,
is and that is straight up Feyre's fault because that's the sort of relationship she's used to. We saw it with Hometown Boy, right? How she would use intimacy as an escape from reality, and that's what she's doing with Tamlin,
yeah,
which is really sad. It's how she's learned to do things, but yeah,
yeah,
it's the beginning of the end.
I agree.
Yeah. So I think it leads to a bigger question like, can love survive trauma?
If you are willing to do the work, yeah.
Uh,
But
And
just
willing to do the work, which Pharaoh is not.
yeah, it's true.
Okay, so now I think we have to speak about the moment when Feyre gets pulled from sleep.
By a thread, pulling, tugging deep within.
And we touched on it last episode, and we said that we would be really deep diving into it. And here it is, the mating bond. If it was not apparent before, then what book are you reading? Right? Because I think people can be confused and think it's a tattoo, right? But a thread from within, right?
Hmm.
Woke her, and she didn't even have to ask where he was. She just knew where he was.
She knew exactly where to go. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she knew where to go.
Hmm.
Yeah. It seems like a happy ending, you know? Like, if we were to subtract what happens on that balcony, Feyre ends up going home with Tamlin. They look at the spring court, all the roses, they smile at each other, they're home. You're like, wow, it's over. It's done. But because of the balcony scene, you know that there's a cliffhanger. So, Juliet, take us through it.
So basically, through their meeting bond, which Feyre doesn't realize, Rhys kind of like pulls her out of sleep. She knows exactly where to go. They have this little chat on the balcony, and basically, it's Rhys saying goodbye because he just has to see her one last time. And she kind of reminds
Mhm.
him, which of course Rhys didn't forget, but she reminds him, like, tattoo, like, I'm gonna see you 1 week every month.
But then you know what happens.
Wait, I don't remember. Oh, wait, where he's like
He's
shocked?
backing away.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
backing away and he's so shocked that he stumbles, which he doesn't do, right? And Feyre is also like, what's happening? And we know that Rhys has recognized his
Yeah.
mate.
It's
And he
finally like,
immediately disappears. He's like,
well,
yeah.
he was like in the middle of disappearing, and then yeah, then that happened. Stumbles, yeah. So good.
Yeah, because Feyre says it's not that he went into shadows, he just disappears. So, what do you think? Do you think Rhys should have done that in that moment? Do you think Rhys should have disappeared when he finds out that Feyre is his mate?
Well, after everything that he's done under the mountain, good and bad, I don't see how revealing his new discovery would have done anything except harm. Like,
Yeah, I agree. And that's
yeah.
why it goes to show Rhys is so strategic. Imagine that pull of meeting your mate. He has enough self control to be like, no, this isn't the right time. Whereas, like, poor Lucian, right, was like the most horrible time to be like, you're my mate to Elaine, and he does it. It just shows Rhys is like on another level of thinking. He's not just a player in the game, he is like the game maker, it
Yeah.
seems.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That's why I don't like him. It's just too manipulative.
Well, you can view it like that, but you can also view it that he immediately vanished and that instead of the normal way he disappears like into darkness, because he was so taken aback by that like discovery that that's his mate, that he had to go somewhere else and process that new information. Because that's a lot.
Yeah. I feel like just knowing Reese, that's not what he did. He didn't need a moment. He needed a moment to plan. He didn't need
I
a moment to
I actually
process.
disagree because in the next book we hear how he goes back to the night court and basically like I can't remember the exact words, but he confesses to Moore or like explains to Moore what just happened and he kind of like cries or something. Like he's very emotionally taken aback by this discovery. Oh, it's so good. And we're gonna get into it next episode.
I'm
So
so
ready.
excited. I'm so excited to read Akamaths because it's like the real story, you know? Like we're done with Tamlin. He wasn't endgame. We know he's not endgame. And like spoiler warning, spoiler warning, like we are entering Massverse territory. We know that SJM likes to do this with her characters, right? Look at Aelin and Kale, right? Like, oh, you would have thought beautiful. Even before that, I'm sorry. Look at Aelin and Dorian. Like, to me, perfect. Loved, loved, loved them. SJM just has a way of not having the first love be the last love. So I'm a little bit worried for Hunt in Crescent City. I'm so worried for him.
I love him.
Can I just give a quick update of where I'm at?
Yes.
Okay, so I've entered the part in Crescent City 2 where they go to the masquerade ball, and Bryce is accompanied by Cormac, her fiance, but Hunt also goes with them. And when the Autumn King comes to like say hello and basically introduce Bryce as Cormac's bride, she kind of surpasses him and goes straight to the archangels. And she says, oh, hello. And they're like, congratulations are in order for you too, right? Because Bryce was congratulating the archangels on their engagement, and the archangels reciprocate. And she goes, yes, Hunt and I will be very happy. And everybody's like, what? And then she kind of flips the script publicly and goes, yeah, Hunt is my mate and my betrothed and my prince. And then Autumn King has to accept it. What a boss. What a boss,
So
man.
good.
So good. She's epic. Like I find Cece very different than the other books.
Yeah.
It's obviously like the tech and everything, but I like Bryce and I love Hunt. Oh, I think it's because it's the first love, and you know I love the first love. So It's like, I don't want it to be over. I'm so worried because I know CC2 ends off on a big cliffhanger. And if it has to do with Hunt, I don't know how I'm going to take it.
Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited for you to
Okay.
finish this book.
I know. Okay, but you give us a little update on Kingdom of Ash.
Like, I don't know. It's just I got to the point where Rowan is like, "Oh, Aelin, why don't you and Dorian like try and do something to the lock, forge the lock, something with the gate?" I don't
Yeah.
even know at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, hurry up and finish this long book. And then so they go and they do it, but Dorian's dad shows up, and then Aelin lets go of Dorian, and I'm like, oh my god! And then she takes the dad's hand, so they do it,
Yeah.
and then Aelin is like in with the gods in like that other realm or something, and then like I literally just read this today.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
Mala gives her the little like drop of power so she can make it back because Rowan, oh my god, that was so cute. Rowan like etched those word marks into the tattoo on her back, which I was like, "Ah, that's like an Aelin move. Like that's what Aelin would have done. Do you know what I mean? Because she's
Yeah.
very strategic. But yeah, so that's
Yeah.
where I'm at. She's now with Rowan.
Wait. Where did it end though? Where's Aelin for you?
Aelin is now in Rowan's arms and she doesn't
Oh
have
my
like any
god,
power
bro.
except she has like one like flame or something.
I am I can't believe it. Did you miss it? Or you could
Did I? Oh my god, what?
I'm at a loss for words. No, because it happened. It happened. The thing that your mom and I have been biting our tongues. It's happened.
What?
What happens when she's coming back to her world?
Oh man, should mom be here? I'm so sad.
She didn't understand. Helen, where are
Hang on,
you?
okay. So she's falling through these worlds, and in my head, okay. So
Okay, hold on.
much
I
to
need to close my
say.
laptop. Hold on. Okay, go.
There's so much to say. Okay.
Yeah.
She's falling through the worlds, and there's one world she falls through where she's going too fast, and then there's this Fae guy with wings, which I'm like, is that race? But I don't know because I don't really get things. And then a pregnant female with him, and he uses his power to like slow her down. But I'm like, what? Like I don't get it. It didn't. I don't understand. Did I miss something? I don't get it.
Bro, are you for real? You need to go back and reread that bit. I'm going to explain it to you and then you're going to read it. And I feel like you have to film yourself. Like, oh, we should have
Wait,
told you, but you wouldn't have even
wait
gotten
before you
it.
say anything. What did I miss? Like I know that I didn't like. Okay, like I kind
Okay,
of
let
like.
me tell you. Let me tell you. Are you ready?
But like, should you tell
Okay.
me?
Well, you've already read it, Juliet, and you didn't get it. So it seems like somebody has to.
I don't think I'll read it properly.
Okay. Sorry, your mic cut out. I couldn't hear you. Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you. This is mass verse huge. Okay. Aelin, through the ward marks on her back and everything, she starts falling through worlds.
Yeah.
Then the city with snow-capped mountains and a night so beautiful, and there was a Fae male
With
and
wings.
a pregnant woman with wings. It's Rhys and Feyre.
Like in the fifth book.
Yes, it's Rhys and Feyre. Puts out his arm and he slows her down.
Yeah. Well, like,
It's
okay, look, like, I I kind of got that, but because there wasn't anything more to it, I was like, ah, so I don't know, whatever. Like,
look, but this is like pivotal because we see for the first time, or I haven't finished Crescent City, but we see in Throne of Glass that all these worlds are connected. Okay.
mm-hmm.
So this
Wait,
is
so
like
there
a
was really
big theory in the mass verse. People saying that somehow all of these worlds are connected and Aelin is the one that's been able to travel through all of them. Yeah. So we have officially finished with ACOTAR Book 1 and we will be diving into Akamath, which is A Court of Mist and Fury. and things definitely take a turn. So please join us.